All right, let's dive into something pretty cool.
Okay.
Something you probably think you already know about, right? Your skeleton. We're going deep into the world of bones today.
Awesome.
Specifically, how they make all those incredible movements we see in sports possible.
Yeah.
You sent over some really cool stuff from a B-Tech Level 3 sport textbook.
Right.
So we know we've got the good stuff here.
Definitely.
And our mission is to try and figure out how this framework of over 200 bones helps athletes perform at such a high level.
Yeah.
What can we learn from its amazing capabilities?
It is amazing. We kind of take it for granted, don't we?
Yeah.
The skeleton.
Yeah.
We just think of it as this static thing.
Right.
When in reality, it's so dynamic and it's a living system that's constantly adapting.
Yeah.
And responding to the demands we place on it.
Absolutely. It's easy to picture the big players like the femur,
right.
That strong thigh bone for running.
Yeah.
But what about the less obvious ones?
Exactly. They're all crucial.
Yeah.
Take the scapula, for instance.
Okay.
You might know it as your shoulder blade.
Right.
But that is absolutely essential for anyone doing any kind of powerful overhand motion.
Okay.
Swimmers, throwing athletes, you name it.
So many moving parts. It's not just about how many bones we have, though, is it?
No, it's not.
There are different types, too, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
And each type has its own unique function.
Okay.
Think about the patella. That's your kneecap.
Right.
It's a sesamoid bone, meaning it's embedded within a tendon.
Okay.
It's not just some random design. It's crucial for reducing friction in the knee joint. Like imagine a pulley system.
Yeah.
The patella acts like that little wheel.
Okay.
So the tendon can glide smoothly over the knee.
Oh.
So you have those smooth, powerful movements like running and jumping.
That's pretty mind-blowing. Okay, so we've got this complex structure.
Yeah.
All these different bone types all working together.
Exactly.
But how do they actually support our bodies?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is.
Is it like a giant internal scaffolding?
Yeah. That's a good starting point, I guess.
Okay.
But broadly speaking, we can divide the skeleton into two main parts.
Okay.
The axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton.
Okay.
So the axial skeleton is our central core.
Okay.
Think skull, rib cage, spine.
Right.
It's all about stability, keeping us upright, protecting those vital organs.
So important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the appendicular skeleton, that's where things get interesting for movement.
Okay.
That's all about our limbs.
Okay.
And the bones that connect them to the axial skeleton, your pelvis, your shoulder girdle.
Oh, okay.
This is the part that lets us really move and groove.
So the axial skeleton is like the foundation of a house.
Yes.
Keeping everything stable and protected.
Exactly.
And the appendicular skeleton is like the walls and the roof.
Yes.
Giving us the freedom to move around within that structure.
Perfect analogy.
Oh, cool.
Both parts working together seamlessly, allowing us to do all the things, run, jump, dance.
Play sports. You name it.
Absolutely. So far, we've focused on the skeletal system as this incredible support structure.
Right.
But I have a feeling it does a lot more than just hold us upright.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Support is crucial, but it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
Think about it. Your skeleton is like a fortress protecting your internal organs.
Right.
Your rib cage, it's like a shield for your heart and lungs.
Yeah.
Your skull is safeguarding your brain.
That's important.
Very important stuff.
Yeah, it is like our own personal suit of armor.
Absolutely.
I know that muscles are attached to bones. That's how we move.
Exactly.
All right.
Muscles pull on bones to create movement, whether you're taking a casual stroll or you're sprinting for the finish line.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Your skeleton is also this busy factory.
What?
Churning out blood cells in the bone marrow.
Oh, wow.
And it's also a mineral vault.
Okay.
Storing essential minerals like calcium.
Right.
Which is vital for, everything.
It feels like everything.
Yeah. Muscle function, nerve transmission.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much everything.
So strong bones, it's not just about preventing broken bones.
Yeah.
They're actually crucial for overall health and athletic performance.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a game changer.
And we can't forget about leverage.
Oh, okay.
The shape of your bones act as a system of levers, allowing us to generate power and speed. Think about the long bones in your legs.
Yes.
They act like levers,
right.
propelling you forward when you run biomechanics at its finest.
Our bodies are seriously amazing. Speaking of all those moving parts, though, we can't forget about joints.
Right.
They're what allow our bones to actually move, right?
Yeah, like the hinges on a door.
Yeah.
Joints are where two or more bones meet.
Okay.
And there are a few different types.
Okay.
But the ones that really shine when it comes to sports are the synovial joints.
What makes synovial joints so special for athletes?
Freedom of movement. Think about like the incredible flexibility of a gymnast.
Right.
Or the agility of a basketball player. That's all thanks to synovial joints.
Oh, wow.
And within that category, you've got 6 different types,
Okay.
each designed for specific types of movement.
Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here. Our body loves variety.
It does.
So give us some examples of these synovial joints in action.
Okay, picture a baseball pitcher
Okay.
winding up for a throw.
Mm-hmm.
That smooth, powerful motion at the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's your ball and socket joint in action.
Wow.
Same type of joint you have in your hip.
Okay.
It allows for a huge range of motion in all directions.
So is that why my elbow doesn't seem to move in all directions like my shoulder?
Yes.
It feels much more limited.
Exactly. That's because your elbow is a hinge joint,
Okay.
perfectly designed for bending and straightening, like the hinge on a door.
Right.
Ideal for, throwing a baseball,
Yeah.
lifting weights,
Mm-hmm.
all about controlled, powerful movements in one plane.
Wow. So different sports really do require different types of joints.
Yeah.
And understanding how they work is key for both performance and preventing injuries.
Absolutely.
Speaking of injuries,
Yeah.
I feel like we hear about knee problems all the time in sports.
Mm-hmm.
What makes the knee such a vulnerable spot?
The knee is a bit of a superstar.
Yeah.
And with stardom comes risk.
Right.
It's responsible for bearing a lot of weight,
Mm-hmm.
facilitating all sorts of complex movements, running, jumping, pivoting.
Yeah.
This makes it prone to wear and tear, especially in high-impact sports.
Right.
It's a complex joint involving several structures,
Okay.
including ligaments like your ACL and meniscus,
Right.
which can be easily damaged
Yeah.
with sudden twists or impacts.
Right. ACL tears, practically synonymous with sports injuries,
Yeah.
especially in like soccer and basketball.
Yes.
But amidst all this talk about joints, I almost forgot how amazingly flexible our bodies are.
Yep.
I'm thinking about ballerinas pointing their toes. Isn't there a special term for that?
There is.
Yeah.
You're thinking of dorsiflexion.
Dorsiflexion.
Yeah, it's the movement of bringing your toes up towards your shin.
Okay.
Essential for dancers,
Right.
but also for everyday activities like walking.
Yeah.
And of course, you have plantar flexure, which is
Mhm.
pointing your toes downwards,
Right.
like when you're standing on your tiptoes,
Yeah.
or pushing off the ground when you run.
Right.
Yeah.
Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. I'm starting to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You are. You're getting it.
But you're telling me all this incredible movement,
Yeah,
it's just the baseline of what our skeleton can do?
it is.
What happens when we throw exercise into the mix?
Oh, then things get really interesting.
Okay.
Get ready for the mind-blowing stuff, because exercise doesn't just use your skeleton.
Okay.
It actually rewires it.
Okay. I'm officially hooked. Let's dive into that right after a quick word from our sponsor. And we're back and ready to hear how exercise transforms our skeletons from basic structures to high-performing machines.
Absolutely.
We've all heard that weight-bearing exercise is good for bone health.
Right.
But how does that actually work on a deeper level?
So it's all about your body's incredible ability to adapt.
Yeah.
When you engage in activities like, running, lifting weights, or even just brisk walking,
Yeah.
you're putting stress on your bones.
Okay.
And this stress acts like a signal, prompting your bones to absorb more minerals, particularly calcium,
Okay.
making them denser and stronger.
So it's like they're saying, hey, we're being put to work here.
Exactly.
Better toughen up.
Yeah, better toughen up.
So our bones are like tiny construction crews,
Yeah.
constantly reinforcing and remodeling
Yes,
based on the demands we place on them.
that's exactly it.
That's amazing, but wouldn't putting stress on young, developing bones be a bad thing?
Right.
Why is weightlifting discouraged for kids?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
While exercise is generally beneficial, it's important to remember that young bones are still growing.
Right?
Heavy weightlifting could put excessive stress on those developing bones
Okay.
and potentially even disrupt their growth.
Oh.
So that's why it's crucial to choose age-appropriate activities
Yeah.
and focus on building, a solid foundation of movement skills
Right.
before introducing any kind of intense resistance training.
So it's all about working with our bodies, not against them,
Exactly.
at every stage of development.
Absolutely.
But back to adults.
Yeah.
What kind of adaptations can we expect to see in our bones with consistent exercise?
So imagine your bones getting a serious upgrade.
Okay.
Consistent weight-bearing exercise can increase your bone density by up to 10%.
Wow. Okay.
making them significantly stronger and more resistant to fractures.
So like adding reinforcement to a building's foundation,
Exactly.
it can withstand greater forces without crumbling.
Yeah, and there's actually a scientific principle at play here. It's called Wolff's Law,
Wolff's Law.
which essentially states that bones adapt to the loads under which they are placed.
Okay.
So the more you use them, the stronger they become.
Wolff's Law. I'm adding that to my mental dictionary of cool science stuff.
It's a good one.
So it's not just about bone density, right?
No, it's not.
What about those all-important ligaments that hold everything together?
Absolutely. Exercise not only strengthens bones, but it toughens up those ligaments too,
Okay.
making them more resilient to stretching and tearing.
Right.
Strong ligaments are crucial for joint stability,
Yeah,
which in turn helps prevent, those dreaded sports injuries.
of course.
It's like adding extra support cables to a suspension bridge.
Okay.
So the structure becomes more stable, less likely to buckle under pressure.
There's a win-win situation.
It is.
Exercise helps strengthen both the bones and the ligaments,
Yeah,
making us more resilient to those sports-related injuries.
exactly.
I'm starting to think we should prescribe exercise as a preventative measure.
I think we should.
But what about those of us who haven't exactly been hitting the gym regularly? Is it too late to reap these benefits?
It's never too late to start investing in your skeletal health.
Really?
Every little bit of physical activity counts,
Okay.
and your body will respond positively to even small increases in activity levels.
That's good to know.
It's like starting a savings account.
Okay.
Even small, regular deposits will add up over time.
I like that analogy.
And here's the best part. These benefits aren't just for elite athletes.
Right?
Everyone, regardless of their athletic ability, can reap these rewards.
That's incredibly reassuring.
It is.
But we'd be remiss if we didn't address the challenges that come with age.
Yeah, for sure.
We've talked about young bones still growing,
Right.
but what happens on the other end of the spectrum? How does aging affect our skeletal system?
So it's true that as we age, our bones naturally lose density. They become thinner, more fragile.
Yeah.
This process is accelerated in women after menopause due to hormonal changes.
Okay.
And this increased bone loss can lead to conditions like osteoporosis,
Right.
which makes bones weaker and more prone to fractures, even from minor falls or bumps.
Osteoporosis is a major concern,
It is.
especially for older adults.
Yeah.
What can we do to combat this age-related bone loss? Is it a losing battle?
Not at all.
Okay.
While we can't completely stop the aging process, we can certainly slow it down
Right.
and minimize its impact on our bones.
Okay.
And guess what plays a starring role in this fight?
I'm going to guess exercise.
You got it. Exercise.
Okay.
It's like turning back the clock on your skeletal system.
So even if you haven't been exercising regularly, it's still beneficial to start later in life?
Absolutely. It's never too late to reap the benefits.
Okay.
Regular weight-bearing activities, even something as simple as brisk walking,
Yeah.
can help stimulate bone growth and increase density,
Wow.
making them less susceptible to fractures.
Okay.
And it's not just about prevention. Exercise can also help manage the symptoms of conditions like arthritis,
Yeah.
which often accompany aging.
Arthritis, that's a big one.
It is.
I know it causes joint pain and stiffness, making movement difficult,
Yeah.
sometimes even debilitating. Can exercise really make a difference for people with arthritis?
So while exercise may not cure arthritis, it can be incredibly effective in managing the symptoms
Oh, boy.
and improving quality of life.
Okay.
Think of it as a natural pain reliever and mobility enhancer.
I like that.
Targeted exercises can strengthen the muscles surrounding the affected joints, providing better support, reducing strain.
It's taking the pressure off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can also help improve flexibility and range of motion,
Okay.
making everyday activities easier and less painful.
So it's like a two-pronged approach.
It is.
Strengthening the muscles to support the joints.
Yeah,
And increasing flexibility to keep those joints moving smoothly.
exactly.
What kind of exercises are we talking about here?
It depends on the individual and the specific type of arthritis they have.
Right.
But some gentle, low-impact options include things like water aerobics.
Okay.
The buoyancy of water supports your joints,
Okay.
reducing stress while allowing for a great workout.
Yeah.
Yoga and Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
These practices focus on gentle stretches and movements
Okay.
that can improve flexibility, balance, and strength.
Okay.
Cycling is a great way to get your heart rate up
Mm-hmm.
without putting too much stress on your joints.
Right.
And of course, walking,
Yeah.
even just a short daily walk, can make a significant difference in your joint health.
Okay. It's important to, start slowly, listen to your body,
Right.
and work with a healthcare professional
Yeah.
to develop a safe and effective exercise plan.
This is all incredibly empowering.
It is.
It's like we have more control over our skeletal health than we realize.
We do.
We've covered so much ground,
We have.
from the basic building blocks of bones to the incredible adaptations they undergo with exercise.
Right. And the challenges we face as we age.
Mm-hmm.
Before we wrap things up, let's take a moment to connect all these dots for our listeners.
Okay.
What's the big takeaway here, the so what, of all this amazing information about our skeletons?
Right.
All right, so we've been on this journey, this exploration of this hidden world beneath our skin.
Right.
And we started with those basic building blocks, those 200 plus bones that give us structure and allow us to move.
Exactly.
We've got the long bones, like the femur, providing leverage for powerful strides.
Right.
Those tiny sesamoid bones, like the patella, ensuring smooth gliding in our joints.
Right.
A symphony of different bone types.
It is,
Each playing a crucial role.
Absolutely.
And we can't forget how those bones are organized, right?
Yeah.
The axial skeleton, our sturdy central core.
Yeah, keeping us upright.
And the appendicular skeleton, giving us the freedom to move our limbs.
Yeah, to get out there and explore.
Yeah. But what's truly mind-blowing is that the skeletal system does so much more than just provide support.
It's really incredible when you think about it.
It is.
It's so much more than just, the framework.
Yeah. We talked about protection,
Yeah.
the rib cage shielding those vital organs, the skull guarding our brain,
Keeping everything safe.
and how it acts as the anchor for all those muscles that let us move.
It's like the foundation for movement.
But then we got into the really fascinating stuff.
Right. The stuff you don't always think about.
How the skeleton is a blood cell factory in the bone marrow.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
A mineral vault storing essential calcium.
So important for so many functions.
It's like this hidden world of activity.
It is. It's constantly working.
Going on inside us all the time.
All the time, even when you're sleeping.
And then there are those incredible joints that allow for all that amazing movement.
Right. The things that allow us to really move and groove.
We see in athletes, we dove into the world of synovial joints.
Yeah, they're the stars of the show when it comes to movement.
Those are the ones that give us that range of motion.
Exactly, that flexibility and agility.
From the ball and socket joint in the hip, allowing for those dynamic kicks and spins.
Yeah, you see that in so many sports.
To the hinge joint in the elbow, providing that controlled power for throwing and lifting.
Such an important joint for so many activities.
Each type of joint perfectly suited to its task.
That's the beauty of the human body. It's all so well designed.
I'm never going to look at my body the same way again.
I know, right? It really makes you appreciate it all.
I'll be thinking about dorsiflexion every time I point my toes.
Yeah, me too.
Plantar flexion with every step I take.
It's amazing how much we take for granted.
But the real game changer for me was learning how exercise literally transforms the skeletal system.
It's not just about using it, it's about making it better.
Yeah. It's not just about using your bones, it's about prompting them to adapt.
Exactly.
Become denser, stronger, more resilient.
And Wolf's Law.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it.
It really applies here.
And it's not just about building those superhero bones, it's also about strengthening those ligaments.
Absolutely. Those are the unsung heroes.
That hold everything together.
You're so important for stability.
Stronger ligaments mean more stable joints.
Right.
More stable joints mean fewer injuries.
It's a chain reaction, a positive one.
A win-win situation.
Absolutely. And the best part is, it's never too late to start.
I love hearing that.
Even if you haven't been exercising regularly, your body is ready and waiting to respond.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Your body wants to move. It wants to be challenged.
Of course, we have to acknowledge that aging does bring some challenges.
Right. It's part of life.
Bones naturally lose density over time.
It's a natural process, but we can influence it.
Osteoporosis is a serious concern.
It is, but we can take steps to protect ourselves.
Especially for older adults.
Yeah, maintaining bone health becomes even more important as we age.
But we learned that exercise can be a powerful tool to combat this bone loss.
It's one of the best things we can do for our skeletons, at any age.
Building strength and resilience even later in life.
Exactly. It's never too late to start investing in your bone health.
And it's not just about prevention.
No, it goes beyond that.
Exercise can also play a key role in managing conditions like arthritis.
It can make a huge difference in terms of pain and mobility.
Improving mobility and reducing pain.
It's about quality of life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the skeletal system,
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay, go for it.
Every sport,
Yeah,
every activity you engage in,
right.
places unique demands on your skeleton.
They all have their own specific requirements.
A gymnast needs incredible flexibility.
Right, those amazing ranges of motion.
A weightlifter needs rock-solid bones to support those heavy loads.
It's all about strength and stability.
A runner needs strong, resilient joints to withstand the impact.
Impact absorption is key.
Our skeletons adapt to the challenges we throw at them.
It's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
So the question for you is, what are your activities?
Yeah, think about what you do on a regular basis.
And how are they shaping your skeletal system?
Are you giving your bones what they need?
Are you giving your bones the stimulus they need to stay healthy and strong?
It's something to consider.
What adaptations are you encouraging through your movement choices?
Good for thought. Right.
It's fascinating to think about, isn't it?
It is. It really makes you appreciate the complexity and the adaptability of the human body.
We often take our skeletons for granted.
We do. It's easy to forget it's there until something goes wrong.
But they're truly remarkable structures, constantly adapting.